सबसे पहले तो मैं प्रिंसिपल महोदय मिरांडा हाउस को थैंक यू कहना चाहूँगा और साथ ही साथ टीचर इंचार्ज केमिस्ट्री डिपार्टमेंट who has shown interest in this topic and had confidence and invited me to deliver a small talk on this topic. First of all, I would like to say and admit that I am not a very hardcore legal expert in the intellectual property right, but as an interest, I have chosen it to learn and share the knowledge related with intellectual property right to students and wherever I get platform to discuss or share the knowledge. So once again, I thank all the faculty, all the students who are here. So let's start with is it visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
I think the complete PPT is not visible.
It is not in slideshow mode.
Yeah, I think now it is
Now
visible.
it is. Yeah, now we can see.
So as it has been decided that the topic is IPR, patent, and chemistry. As the ma'am has said that most of the audience are from graduate background. So I have tried to make it substantive understanding with the basics of IPR as well as focusing on patent. So talk will be centered around that and it will be mixed with the basics, some examples and case studies. So these are the outline of today's talk. So now let us begin the topic. As we know that in India, it is one of the hotspot biodiversity center, and because of it, it contains diverse ecosystem. And this ecosystem is basically natural and man-made both. And these ecosystems possess a lot of biodiversity, bioresource, chemical resource. Along with this, it also contains enormous traditional knowledge. Those are possessed by individuals, communities, farmer, laborer, reader, and number of stakeholders. Apart from that, we have diverse industrial process and product. Those are related with chemicals. Because our topic is related with chemistry, so we should correlate everything with chemicals. Apart from that, we have a lot of artistic creativity. Those creativities are covered under different laws such as literary, dramatic, musical, artistic, cinematographic. Those are different things which are covered under different laws. So with this basis, we can say that when we have biodiversity, when we have resource, and over the period of time, the human being have evolved and they have used their intellectual capacity to develop material, to develop articles, to develop the products which are useful for them. So in the beginning, we were living in a jungle where we used to eat the basic raw material available for us. Gradually, we started developing small stone-based weapons, and now we are in an industrial era where we make so many products through different process, and so many creative things is now output of human brain. And as we know, as our leaders always say, that we are you know economy based on knowledge. So this knowledge is basically related with our intellectual creativity, and that creativity, when given as a right, it enters into the domain of intellectual property. So in a nutshell, if we consider what is intellectual property, it is a sum total of output of human intelligence, creation, and innovation. So whatever you innovate, if it is not copied, it is your product coming through your brain. And the second property of this intellectual property is it is intangible, meaning thereby we can't touch it. So whatever we create, think in our brain, we convert it into product or process. So that becomes eligible for our intellectual property, harnessing our rights. So whatever is the creation comes in mind, it is intelligible. When it is coming out for getting our rights, so these rights are given to the person who is creating the such innovation. And that is why it is called as monopolistic right. These are not forever that you can enjoy, lifelong. They have certain limitation, so that innovation keep coming over the period of time. So that is why it is a restricted right, but for certain time, and given to the person who innovates, or company, or any person who has the authority to possess these rights. When you have a right, you can enforce. If someone is uh, taking your right, you can go to the court and you can enforce. So these are some of the properties associated with intellectual property. What else? These properties have economic value. When you create any process or product or any output, like if you write a book, it is marketable product, and you can earn money, you can make money. So it has economic value. And as I said, in our knowledge based economy, intellectual property is going to be one of the driver of economy. So when you have a value, other person also have value. So investors, they have incentive, because they can invest money to get the intellectual products, to get the creation, innovation. So that act as a incentive. And when investment is there, when product is there, when market is there, it will act as a driver for gaining height in your economy. So these are some of the property which is associated with intellectual property in total, in general. There are several type of intellectual property have been classified that we will discuss later. But here you can see these are copyright, design, trademark, trade secret, plant variety, traditional knowledge. So many things, they have been divided, and they are dealt with different laws. Now, as I discussed, why we are using this intellectual property. So you can see here, it's a chain, it's a cycle. Cycle for what? Cycle for developing our economy. Because here in current regime, in current situation, nothing works without money. So it is good for say individual, it is good for society, it is good for our nation. So how we do? It's a cycle. So here you can start with innovation and creativity, and this innovation and creativity gives rise of IP rights. These IP rights are technological and artistic development purpose. You develop so many product, so many artistic things like music. It has a economic value. Film, it has a economic value. Everything gives some output in terms of money, and this money is going to contribute for GDP. When your GDP is growing, the slice or the money government pours for socio-economic development to run the colleges, schools, fellowship, scholarship, health, infrastructure. Everything comes from these GDP. And when you have good socio-economic development, your 1% also goes to investment as an investment in research and development. So again, this research and development gives impetus for furthering the innovation and creativity. And again, this cycle keeps on rotating. And if we are able to rotate this cycle or circulate as fast we do, the GDP growth will be having better result. So this is the relevance in current knowledge-based society for these IP rights. Now, there are, as we saw in the previous picture, there are so many type of rights. So for understanding, we can classify in a two category. All the intellectual property rights can be classified on the basis of their nature. What is their nature? So whatever 10, 12 type of intellectual property rights have been recognized, they can be classified into two categories on the basis of nature. What is their nature? First is your artistic IP, where human creativity comes in the form of art. So there are two categories of rights. One is your copyright, and other is your design. So in copyright, we know that there are 6 subcategories in copyright. One is your literary material, dramatic material, musical material, artistic material, and performance on stage or film, and cinematography. These 6 subheadings are covered under copyright. If you create anything related with these 6 domain, it will be covered under copyright. And design, as you know that if you make a design of a bottle, like Bisleri bottle has unique kind of design, it has artistic value. So this type of intellectual property rights are covered under artistic IP. And in industrial IP, there are more categories are available. So for space point of view, I have made it abbreviation. Those IP which have industrial value. So design also have industrial value, because you can't create bottle on your paper. You can create shape of the bottle on your paper, but ultimately it is going to be manufactured in industry. But primarily it has a creativity that falls under artistic IP. And in industrial IP, you can see patent is a major area. Trademark is a major area. Design is considered under both. Trade secret, Coca-Cola trade secret. Geographical indication. you have, the Darjeeling tea. So all these categories have industrial value, and that is why they have been categorized under industrial IP. So these are two categories. If you categorize on the basis of your right, all the IP can be clubbed into broad categories. One is your individual right, where whatever you create, individual person gets the right. Individual innovator gets the right. So here you can see patent, trademark, copyright. They are given to individual, whosoever is creating the intellectual product. But there are two categories which are not individual. They are considered and given as a community right. So one is traditional knowledge. So someone knows that this fish is used for particular curing of disease. So that is not individual knowledge. Such knowledge has been perpetuated in a particular community for a long time. There might be a one person who is have been given authority to use those knowledge, but it's a community right. Similarly, geographical indication, it is also one of the intellectual property, such as I gave example Darjeeling tea. So Darjeeling tree is not grown by any individual. There are farmers, there are person who are growing the Darjeeling tea in that area that is known as Darjeeling area. Similarly, other products also, Kolhapur chappal, so that is also produced in a Kolhapur district. So such rights are not individual right, they are community or group right. So you can classify IP rights in this way. Now, before entering into patent, we must understand as a concept, as we know that it is a intellectual property right. So first, as I said, what is intellectual property? It is the creation of your mind that has certain value, economic value. Those are copyright, trademark, patent. These are the different, intellectual property. And what is right? Right is basically a legal, authority given to inventor, given to creator. And as we know, we are living in a country, that country is governed by supreme law, that is Constitution of India. And apart from that, we are also member of United Nations. That is a supra legal body that governs at international level. So from where we derive these rights, because as a matter of law, we know that in any country which is governed by law, rule of law prevails. You can't do anything without rule of law. If you are doing, that will become illegal, and you are doing something which is not coherent to the regime. So we must know from where we are drawing our rights. If we know, then we are empowered. We can assert our right. Along with right, we should also know the duties also. So in the United Nations, there was a declaration called as Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So it recognized the right of intellectual property. There is no explicit word of intellectual property, but you can see under Article 27(2), if you read, everyone has right to the protection of the moral and material interest resulting from any scientific, literary, artistic production which he is author, and he has a right to protect it. So from that, declaration, you can draw that international bodies are also recognizing for your creative value. So as we know that we are today going to enter into the particular section of intellectual property, that is patent. So what laws at national and international level working that recognize the rights related with patent? What is patent? We will discuss later. Here, just a brief, outline to understand that. We can see after United Nations, we have another international body dedicated for intellectual property right, that is WIPO. It is United Nations body, and it deals all the matter related with intellectual property. It's a specialized body dedicated for promoting, encouraging everything related with intellectual property. Apart from that, we have WTO. WTO do not fall under United Nations. It is a separate entity that works with United Nations. And this WTO has purely related with trade related aspects. And it was established in 1995. Prior to WTO, there was a informal group that was GATT. We will not go into that, but now WTO has taken major role. And for intellectual property right, it has a specialized agreement. Trade related intellectual property right dealing is done under TRIPS. So TRIPS, students should read more about TRIPS. We will discuss those portions which are related with patent. So TRIPS deals with all type of provisions related with patent, copyright, trademark, design, geographical indicator. Everything is dealt under TRIPS. Apart from that, there is a treaty that is called as Patent Cooperation Treaty. It is created for making patent filing easy at the international level. That's the thing. The treaty is very long and so many provisions are there. But this treaty was brought for filing patent at different country for your innovations through one window. That is the thing. And the Paris Convention that was brought in 1983, it is related with protection of industrial property. As we discussed, all the creativity related with industrial output, patent, your trademark, your design, trade secret, they are dealt under this convention. And there is a small treaty related with patent is Budapest Treaty. What it does, suppose if you are going to get patent from patent office and your research is related with microorganism, somewhere you have used the microorganism. So you have to deposit your microorganism in a depository. So there is a proper procedure how and where you will deposit your microorganism through which you have obtained your process or product. That is governed through Budapest Treaty. So these are some of the international legal instruments related with your patent. Now, what is TRIPS? As we discussed, we will not go in depth about TRIPS, but just a matter of fact, it's a multilateral agreement. That means TRIPS is brought with the help of all the members of WTO. They have accepted it, and India is one of the party of this agreement. And whatever is given in this agreement, India brings those international agreement and makes a indigenous law or act to implement, to proceed for providing intellectual property rights. That's a basic simple thing we have to understand. It's just a outline agreement, but agreement has certain sanctity. We cannot disobey, we cannot go away because we are party of TRIPS. Why it is important? That is more important. You can read the slide. The important thing is here you can read it lays down standard. So TRIPS makes standard which should be followed by every country. That is very important. It also ensures uniformity. So ऐसा ना हो कि एक कंट्री 20 साल के लिए पेटेंट पर प्रोटेक्शन दे रही हो, अगली कंट्री जो है वो 10 साल के लिए प्रोटेक्शन दे रही है. So that is why such international laws are made. And it also brings legal certainty and transparency. So whatever we are dealing in our country, we have to report to the TRIPS also, so that they monitor we are abiding the agreement. So this is the job of TRIPS. Under this TRIPS agreement, the red headings, you can just read. These 5 things is ensured by or provided by TRIPS. It lays down standard. It is the body that enforces the intellectual property right laws. How a country will enforce, that is ensured by TRIPS. Another thing, what TRIPS does, it also settles the dispute. If there is a dispute between two countries, where we should go to settle. So this is the body related with intellectual property dispute that settles, and it is binding to their parties. This is the important job done by the WTO under the TRIPS. And these two things, number 4 and number 5, are very important in terms of intellectual property. TRIPS ensures that in the matter of intellectual property right, national treatment is ensured. Meaning thereby, it forbids discrimination between members of non-national and the national of other members. That is called as NT, national treatment. That is ensured by TRIPS, so that you cannot discriminate. Another thing is most favored nation. That is MFN. Under this concept, TRIPS ensures that there is no discrimination between the national of other members in respect of national treatment obligation, so that no country is my favored. So this is the important job done by the TRIPS. And where it is ensured, WTO is there, where Geneva is the head office of WTO. So if anything happens, they carry out such thing in Geneva. Their members are also in our country. They take care of all these things. Now we are moving towards patent. Under the TRIPS, there is a article 27.1 that deals with what is patent, how it is given, what are not given under patent. That is listed under TRIPS article 27.1. For students, they can just restrict to, if they are interested, they can read more and more, but at least they can remember that article 27.1 is very important in relation with the patent. Whatever is given here, India has accommodated in their laws, and that is Indian Patent Act 1970. We will come later. So it says any invention passes the test of novelty, inventiveness, and industrial applicability, patent will be given. So this is the criteria which has been laid down by the TRIPS. And what is not given, they have listed in 27.2 and 3. So if any patent which is, against public order, morality, environment, or health, they cannot be given. Similarly, they have also made several exclusions. These are listed under A and B. And under Article 27.3, they have made a special provision for granting patent on plant varieties. In TRIPS, they say for plant variety, you can create a new unique system for giving protection to your plants, or you can give by patent. So either you give patent to your plants, or you can create a new law for your plant variety protection. So in India, they have not given patent on plant related inventions. They have made a separate law, Plant Variety Protection Law 2001. That is an entirely different sui generis law they have made. So after this, where we can see our rights are given in Constitution related with intellectual property right. So as we know that Article 12 and 13 is the key article that says a governance based on principle of law and not of man, which embodies justice, fairness, and inclusivity. So meaning thereby they have given broad outline that if you are going to create rights, these rights should be justified, fair, and inclusive. So if you are giving a patent right unfair, uninclusive, unjustified, they can be turned down. So Article 12 is very important. That is your, under your fundamental right. When you talk about your right, along with your right, you have a duty also. So in our fundamental duty, the Constitution of India says you have a duty to develop the scientific temper, humanism, and spirit of inquiry and reform. So every person has to strive for developing scientific temper, humanism, and spirit of inquiry. So if you do that, you are going to use your faculty of brain for creating certain products, process, output, and those should be humanistic. They should not be having output which are going to destroy our society. So this is our duty given under Article 51A. And under fundamental right, we have Article 19. Under this, if you read it, we have a right to practice any profession, carry out any occupation, trade, business with reasonable restriction. So if you have a patent, if you get the patent, your rights, you can practice, carry out any occupation, trade or business. You can do that from there. Apart from that, there are many articles you can read, but the important one is in our Constitution, we have list. There are 3 lists in Constitution. One is union list, state list, and concurrent list. And these lists are nothing but the subjects are given on which the parliament makes law. And these lists have been kept in 7th schedule. So under list 1, union list, there is an entry 49, and that entry 49 have patent, inventions and design, copyright, trademarks, and merchandise marks. So on these topics, Constitution has a special provision that you can make law on these things. So from there, we draw the power of your right and duties. So these are just different laws for governing intellectual property right. So as you can see, we have an Indian Patent Act 1970. We have a plant variety protection and farmers' right. These are these are laws useful for protecting the plant variety. It's a dedicated for plant variety. BD Act is Biodiversity Act. It is related with biological diversity conservation, their use, and benefit sharing arising from the use of these bioresources. Because we are a chemistry student, chemistry students are having pervasive application. On this earth, everything is made up of chemical. There are two things. One is energy, another is chemical. So chemistry student has their application in everywhere, whether it is living material, whether it is non-living material. So if it has certain value, you can use for getting these rights. So biological products which yield so many useful chemicals, they have provision for patent and misuse of your biological diversity. Similarly, Geographical Indication Act, it is related with for products found in a particular place with certain qualities, such as Darjeeling tea, Kolhapur chappal. There are so many list of products are available which has been recognized as geographical indication, and they are protected through this law. Copyright by Indian Copyright Act, trademark by Trademark Act, Design Act 2000, and Indian Contract Act is basically used for protecting the confidential information like trade secret. You cannot disclose. We have a, I'm working with certain company, that company makes a certain product, and how much ratio, what amount it makes, it uses for making that product. When I'm working there, I have an understanding or contract not to disclose that. So that used for there. Now let's come to the key area. So for basic, what is patent? Patent is given for any invention. Any invention. It should be invention. But for getting the patent, you have to pass certain tests. You can create your creativity for certain process or product, anything. So under the Patent Act, there is a section 2J that says what is any invention or invention. Now your invention, when passes through test of 4 things, you just read here 1, 2, 3, and 4. If your invention passes these 4 tests, you will get the patent. Now, how to understand that? You can see this picture. These tests are, tested or passed through a filter. If your invention passing through this filter, you will get the patent. So you have a, first test is your invention should be novel, new. And your invention should not be anticipated. What do you mean by anticipated? We call it as a prior art also. Meaning thereby, whatever you have created from the date of your creation, it should not exist prior to that. It should be having certain novelty. If it is existing prior to that, your first test fails. And now, after becoming WTO member, prior to WTO, India was giving patent on only on process. But now we are giving, after accepting WTO's TRIPS rules, we are giving patent on product also. So if your process or product passes through these 3-4 tests, you will get your patent. Now, your novel material should contain inventive step and capability of industrial application. So whatever new invention, say for example, you have made a bike, you have made a chemical in your laboratory. Here it is a 2-aminopurine, which is a mutagenic agent. So if your the parts of your this motorcycle or this chemical have novelty and not anticipated and have inventive step and capability of industrial application, it will get the patent. But apart from that, the 4th test is also there. That is, shall not be excluded under section 3 and section 4. So in nutshell, what we can say, patent is basically the right given by state. Who is the state? The government of India, that gives power to make, sell, transfer the product or process, or you can restrain the other person if he or she is making your created invention without your permission or license. So your new invention shall contain novelty, inventive step. And now what is inventive step? It has 2 things. It is the technical advancement over recent knowledge. So it is not necessary that something which you should be unique throughout the world. If something is existing but not what you have created, it should be advancement over the recent knowledge. जो भी था उससे बढ़कर होना चाहिए और इसकी कुछ इकोनॉमिक सिग्निफिकेंस होनी चाहिए. ऐसा ना हो कि आपने जो क्रिएट किया है वो इकोनॉमिकली इनसिग्निफिकेंट है या फिर वो दोनों है. तो ऐसी चीज आपके दूसरे टेस्ट को पास करेगी. दैट इज योर इन्वेंटिव स्टेप. एंड थर्ड इज कैपेबल ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल एप्लीकेशन. इफ यू हैव मेड 2-aminopurine, it has any marketing or industrial value, it passes through the 3rd criteria. And the 4th criteria is exclusion. In the Patent Act, there is a section 3 and section 4. There are 2 sections. Section 3 lists 15 exclusions. 15 उसने exclusion list किए हैं. अगर उस 15 एक्सक्लूजन में आपका पेटेंट फॉल करता है तो आप पेटेंट पाने के अधिकारी नहीं है. आउटराइटली रिजेक्टेड, बी यू प्रूव योर नॉवेल्टी, इन्वेंटिव स्टेप, कैपेबल ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल एप्लीकेशन, you won't get the patent. And the section 4 is a special provision related with invention related with atomic energy materials. Because these are radioactive materials, so they should be used with caution and not in general so that it causes danger, poses danger to public. So if anything is related with atomic material, the patent is not given. And patent protection is given for 20 years from the date of filing. When you file your patent, your time starts and it is ending 20 years after. But to enjoy 20 years, you have to pay every year a fee so that your patent is alive. So these are the things which are very crucial to dissect or understand the patent. Those students who are interested to read what are not patentable under section 3, they can just go to the Google, type section 3 of Patent Act. There are 15 exclusions. You can just read. There is, because it will take another hour to explain all these things. So I won't go to, dealing all these, maybe in some other classes. So as you can see, the patent should not be frivolous, obvious, contrary to the established natural law. It should not be against the public order, morality, prejudice to the human, animal. So you can read these provisions are given in the TRIPS agreement also. So what India has done, India has taken the TRIPS provision into their national laws. Apart from that, you can read the mere discovery of new form of known substance. So for chemistry student, if you have made a benzene and if you add certain modification in benzene में एक OH लगा दिया and you say that it's a new, you may get the patent, but you have to prove that it is novel, it is having inventive step, it is having, capable of industrial application, as well as certain other things which are written in this section 3D, like your product should have efficacy, increased efficacy of your previous thing, so that it is useful for the people. So similarly, there are a list of 15 exclusions. You can read through the Google or a book, and you can understand under these 15, if your patent is falling, you won't get. That's the pure negative answer. And section 4, as I said, no patent shall be granted in respect of invention related to atomic energy falling within subsection of this. So here also a restriction is given. Now, before going to this slide, I will just tell you how to get the patent in a simple manner, how to understand this. You can read the law book. It's a very complicated process. It's not as easy as I have made a simple diagram. But for a layman understanding, you can simply understand what are the simple steps how to get the patent. So for that, you can see here the getting patent. It starts from the first step, filing of application. So when you file application form, you start the procedure of getting patent, and that is called as prosecution, patent prosecution. So you can file your patent in 4 patent office, and which are located in New Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai. And for filing patent, if you go to the Indian Patent Act and their appendix, there are several forms are given. You have to use those forms, and accordingly you can file the patent. There are certain fees for everything. Those are also listed. We will not go in that. So first is your filing of application. Second is when you file your application of your invention, considering that you are not falling under section 3 and 4, and you are proving those novelty, inventiveness, and capable of industrial application, the application will be published by patent office upon expiry of 18 months. लेकिन अगर आपको जल्दी पब्लिश कराना है, then you submit your fee and application request, the patent office will publish prior to that. But after 18 months, it publishes freely and with their own will. When you publish, what happens? People come to know about your invention. So suppose if you have copied invention from someone else, I will have objection. I will say you have done wrong. You have taken without permission, or you have copied, whatever. So that is called as pre-grant opposition may arise at this stage. People may come and say, no, this patent is having some problem because it is related with mine. They will prove. So if it is not, pre-grant opposition, what is the next step? Next step is examination. After publication, what happens? The patent office goes for examination. और इसमें क्या ऑप्शन होता है कि एप्लीकेंट जो है 48 मंथ तक इसको खींच सकता है. लेकिन अगर 48 मंथ तक आपने एग्जामिनेशन की रिक्वेस्ट नहीं डाली पेटेंट ऑफिस में, तो आपका पेटेंट अबेंडेंड मान लिया जाएगा, खत्म हो. सो ये बात ध्यान रखनी है कि पब्लिकेशन के बाद इन्वेंटर को ही पेटेंट ऑफिस में अप्रोच करना है और कहना है कि प्लीज एग्जामिन माय पेटेंट. सो दे विल डू इट. एंड आफ्टर दैट व्हाट दे विल डू, द पेटेंट कंट्रोलर will transfer your patent to examiner, patent examiner. Patent examiner will read and will try to test your patent on those 4 criteria: novelty, inventiveness, capable of industrial application, and exclusions. If your patent is having no problem, report will come to the controller, and another report, the same report, will go to you also. If your patent have some objections, those objections will be brought forward by the examiner in the notice of your controller as well as you, and they will send to copy to you. And if you are not removing those objections, your patent application will be rejected. Your patent ends. What you can do? You receive the copy of complaints or objections. You remove it. You discuss. You talk with the controller, and you submit your copy. So, if your submission is complying with the requirement of controller, whatever their rules are there, they will move further, and then they will go for registration of your patent. And they will require deposition of your certain fee. Fees are variable for individual, for researcher, for company. Fees are given in the act. You can see them. And when you submit your fee, your patent will be registered and your patent granted. But the story doesn't end. Even after, if someone knows that the patent has been granted and this patent have infringing nature, for my patent I can come to the controller and go for opposition of your patent, and that is called as post grant opposition. There are certain grounds listed in the act by which the oppositions are made. But you have to see here, after granting the patent, only 1 year is given for raising your opposition. After 1 year, you lose your right. So this is the nutshell flow chart of patent filing procedure in India. One important thing is associated with this. As a science student, as a chemistry student, and for my biology student also, when you invent something and when you are interested filing patent, what you have to do? You have to cross check that whatever invention made by you is not existing prior to your discovery. If it is existing, there is no meaning. You won't get the patent. So how you come to know that your patent is existing or your invention is existing or not? So there are certain banks, database. So these are the name of the database where you can find out what kind of patent, what kind of non-patent document, such as research paper. If research paper is showing that this kinase, inhibiting chemical is there. So if you discover, if you invent, it has no meaning, that the person has already reported. So those are non-patent documents. So if for India, there is a database in PASS, Indian Patent Advanced Search System, and it is under the intellectual property portal of India. You can go and type this word and you can find this. And I have made this screenshot of this. If you read it, you can search n number of ways by combining, recombining in different permutation and combination. You can search your topic. So this is the Indian one. Similarly, others one also available. You can search one by one. eSpaceNet, it is the European Patent Office database. It has a lot of information related with patent and non-patent items. Patentoscope, it is the database of WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. You can access from here also. USPTO, it is the United States Patent Office, Patent and Trademark Office. They also give you support. Apart from that, Google Patent also provides the information related that. And for chemistry student, you just type PubChem. It is the one of the portal of one of the sub part of NCBI. In PubChem, you can get the chemical database where which chemical when patent has got. So you can get so many information from PubChem also. So here, from here, you can get lot of information that whether your invention have been falling in anticipation or prior art or not. You can get it from here. So shall I continue or shall I summarize? Let me know, please, because I have exceeded 10 minutes.
You can continue, sir.
Okay, 10
And
more
one
minutes.
more thing, sir, the slideshow, I mean, we can see speaker mode, I think. Only one slide is not visible. So if you want to change that, otherwise there is no problem.
Slide is not moving.
It is moving, but we can see other slide also, your next slide as well as a part.
Okay, why it is happening?
But I think otherwise it is fine. You can continue like this.
If you can see, if there is no problem in that, because these slides can be shared with your student. I don't have a problem.
Okay, fine then. Yeah,
because
please
if
continue.
I touch any button, it will,
No, it is fine then, sir. Please continue.
So I will take two more things. One is 2 cases related with chemistry student uses, and what are the opportunity for students of chemistry as well as in general also. So in patent, there is one landmark judgment, that is Diamond and Chakraborty. It is the judgment given by the Supreme Court of United States of America in 1980. And this case came to the court to decide whether a live human-made microorganism is patentable subject matter or not. क्या हम ऐसे माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म को जिसको हमने जेनेटिक इंजीनियरिंग के थ्रू चेंज किया है उसको हम पेटेंट कर सकते हैं या नहीं कर सकते? और इसमें क्या किया था उन्होंने कि एक बैक्टीरिया था स्यूडोमोनास क्यूटिडा, जिसका सभी ने नाम सुना होगा सुपर बग के नाम से, उसमें उन्होंने प्लाज्मिड में चेंजेस किए थे और उसमें वो जीन डाल दिए थे जो जो ऑयल स्पिल को डिग्रेड करता। तो जब ये केस पहुंचा सुप्रीम कोर्ट में तो उन्होंने एक लैंडमार्क लाइन लिखी, दैट इज anything under the sun that is made by man is patentable. This is a very crucial line, and from here, biological products related with such genetic material started getting patent. So if a student is interested, please read this judgment, which is very landmark judgment. And in India there are two judgments which is also very landmark. One is Novartis versus Union of India. ये 2013 में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने डिसीजन दिया था। इसमें केस क्या हुआ था कि जो कंपनी थी नोवार्टिस, उसने एक मेडिसिन, एक केमिकल था जिसका उन्होंने मतलब मार्केट नेम ग्लीवैक रखा, और ये जो केमिकल था ये बेसिकली इमैनिटिव मिसाइलेट केमिकल था जिसका यहाँ पर स्ट्रक्चर बना हुआ, और ये बीटा फॉर्म था। इन्होंने इस केमिकल को लेकर के एक पेटेंट फाइल किया और उन्होंने कहा कि ये केमिकल जो है ये एंटी कैंसर ड्रग की तरह काम करता है। लेकिन जो पेटेंट कंट्रोलर था, जैसा हम लोगों ने अभी पिछला प्रोसीजर देखा, पेटेंट कंट्रोलर ने इसे रिफ्यूज कर दिया। क्यों रिफ्यूज कर दिया? उन्होंने कहा कि ये जो दवा है, ये दवा सेक्शन 3D, जो अभी मैंने पास्ट में आपको बताया था, वी कैन गो बैक ऑल्सो, सेक्शन 3D से हिट होता है। क्यों हिट होता है? क्योंकि ये जो दवा थी इमैनिटिव, ये पहले ही नोन थी। जो इससे पहले उन्होंने जो पेटेंट लिए थे, क्योंकि भारत में ये दवा का पेटेंट इन्होंने लगभग 1998 के करीब पेटेंट फाइल किया था, और 1995 में हम WTO के मेंबर हो गए थे और हमने प्रोडक्ट पेटेंट भी देना शुरू कर दिया था। लेकिन चूंकि भारत को WTO ने 10 साल का समय दिया था, इसलिए अभी हम उस ट्रांजिशन पीरियड में थे, तो रूल्स को हमें अडॉप्ट करना था, और उन रूल्स में हमने ये सेक्शन 3D को अडॉप्ट किया। तो कंट्रोलर ने कहा कि जब दवा पहले से एग्जिस्ट करती है इमैनिटिव, उस दवा का उन्होंने पिछले पेटेंट में जिक्र नहीं किया था क्योंकि उन्हें प्रोसेस पर मिला हुआ। तो ये दवा जो आपने अब पेटेंट के लिए लेकर आए हैं, ये इस क्राइटेरिया को पास नहीं करती, क्योंकि यहाँ पर लिखा हुआ है साफ, the mere discovery of new form of a known substance which does not result in enhancement of the known efficacy of that substance or the mere discovery of any new property. It's a list, you can read it. So they say it is known substance, और उसके लिए जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया था कि आप सर्च कर सकते हैं कि पहले क्या हुआ है। तो उन्होंने कई ऐसे रिसर्च पेपर ढूंढे जिसमें इस दवा का पहले से ही जिक्र हो चुका है कि ये एक काइनेज इनहिबिटर की तरह काम करता है। तो कोर्ट ने ये कहा, कंट्रोलर ने ये कहा कि हम इसको पेटेंट नहीं करें। कंट्रोलर की बात को उन्होंने जो है उन्होंने अपील किया। तो जब कंट्रोलर किसी केस को रिजेक्ट कर देता है तो अपीलेट बोर्ड में जाते हैं, तो उसका नाम है IPAB, मतलब इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी अपीलेट बोर्ड, उसमें जाता है केस। तो जब अपीलेट बोर्ड में गया तो अपीलेट बोर्ड ने बोला कि इट्स ओके, कंट्रोलर ने जो डिसीजन दिया है उसमें आधा सही है आधा गलत है। आधा सही ये है कि आपने नया फॉर्म बीटा क्रिस्टलाइन फॉर्म आप लेके आए, लेकिन आपको पेटेंट इसलिए नहीं दिया जा सकता क्योंकि आप जो है पुराने इंफॉर्मेशन के जो सेक्शन 3D है उससे आपका ये पेटेंट स्ट्रक होता है, क्योंकि इस केमिकल का जानकारी पहले से है। तो नोवार्टिस को फिर से धक्का लगा नोवार्टिस का बेसिक पर्पज ये था कि वो ये चाहती थी कि जो पिछला नॉलेज है उसी नॉलेज को आगे बढ़ाया जाए और पेटेंट अपने पास रखा जाए, और इसको बोला जाता है एवरग्रीनिंग। लेकिन जो पेटेंट अधिकारी थे उन्होंने कोशिश ये की कि एवरग्रीनिंग ना होने दी जाए, क्योंकि पेटेंट लॉ कहता है कि आपको 20 साल का ही पेटेंट मिलेगा। तो नोवार्टिस ने अपीलेट बोर्ड के बाद सीधे अपील किया सुप्रीम कोर्ट। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बहुत मतलब जद्दोजहद और पूरी उनके आर्गुमेंट्स के बाद अपना डिसीजन वही रखा जो इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी अपीलेट बोर्ड और कंट्रोलर ने दिया, उन्होंने भी रिजेक्ट किया। और इससे ये हुआ कि कोई भी कंपनी एवरग्रीनिंग नहीं कर सकती। यानी आपने एक बार केमिकल खोज लिया और उसमें मिथाइल ग्रुप ऐड कर दिया, इथाइल ग्रुप ऐड कर दिया, और बार बार आप पेटेंट लेते जा रहे हैं, दैट यू कांट डू। So that is why this judgment is very useful for chemistry student and those who are interested in patent and related aspect. So this is very landmark judgment. उसके बाद एक और जजमेंट है जो केमिस्ट्री स्टूडेंट के लिए ही इंपॉर्टेंट है, वैसे तो सब कुछ केमिस्ट्री में है। एक है बेयर कॉर्पोरेशन वर्सेस नैटको फार्मा। इसमें एक दवा थी नक्सवीर, और ये नक्सवीर जो है ये भी एक एंटी कैंसरस ड्रग थी, और इसका जो केमिकल था वो था सोरेफिनिटोसाइलेट। उसका केमिकल स्ट्रक्चर यहाँ बना हुआ है। और ये जो दवा थी, इस दवा पर पेटेंट मिला किसको? बेयर को। बेयर ने भारत में पेटेंट हासिल कर दिया। लेकिन व्हाट हैपेंड आफ्टर गेटिंग द पेटेंट, द बेयर प्रोडक्ट वर वेरी कॉस्टली। I think 2.8 लाख पर मंथ ये दवा उपलब्ध थी। जो भी इसका ट्रीटमेंट का खर्चा आता था वो 2.8 लाख आता था पर मंथ। तो इतना महंगा दवा, आई थिंक इट वाज नॉट यूजफुल फॉर द जनरल पीपल टू क्योर द एंटी कैंसर। एक चीज ये। दूसरी चीज, ये दवा अवेलेबल नहीं थी जनरल पब्लिक को, बहुत शॉर्टेज थी। और तीसरा, ये दवा बायर अपने बाहर के प्रोडक्शन सेंटर से इंडिया में मंगाती थी। 3 चीजें। तो इस वजह से जो नैटको कंपनी थी उसने अप्रोच किया आईपी कंट्रोलर को कि उन्हें इस पेटेंट का कंपल्सरी लाइसेंस दिया जाए, ताकि हम इस दवा को सस्ते दरों पर भारत में उपलब्ध करा सकें। उन्होंने बोला कि हम 8,000 में उपलब्ध करा दें, जो वो 2.8 में दे रहे हैं हम उसे 8,000 में। और उन्होंने इस बात के लिए सारे डेटा दिए, और उन्होंने ये भी डेटा दिया कि ये कंपनी जिसको ये पेटेंट हासिल है वो पेटेंट को जनता को उपलब्ध कराने में अक्षम है, और जिनको भी उपलब्ध करा रही है बहुत ही ऊंचे दरों पर है, और ये दवा बाहर से बन के आ रही है। ये सारा डेटा इन्होंने दिया। इस डेटा को देने के बाद जो कंट्रोलर था उसने लाइसेंस नैटको को दे दिया। तो जब लाइसेंस नैटको को दे दिया तो फिर जो है बायर उसके विरुद्ध में अपील में आया, लेकिन उनके अपील को ठुकरा दिया। और वही सेम अपील वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट में भी गए, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भी उसको ठुकरा दिया। यानी लाइसेंस नैटको को दे दिया गया। और क्यों दिया गया? क्योंकि मैंने आपको इसीलिए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बताया था, वो पढ़ाने का मतलब यही था कि फेयर होना चाहिए। पेटेंट ऐसा नहीं है कि हमें पैसा बनाने के लिए कि हमने खोज लिया और हम ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पैसा बनाएं। इट शुड बी फेयर, इट शुड बी इंक्लूसिव, इट शुड बी जस्टिफाइड। You have right to carry your trade and profession, but you cannot do unjustified. And from where it comes, it is the Constitution of India that balances it. So Supreme Court dismissed the case, and this is the first leading case of compulsory license. But unfortunately, after that, no drug has been given compulsory license. There are so many reasons you can discuss and read. But these are the provisions available in Patent Act. And why Constitution is important, why your right is important, why your duty is important, here comes the in totality to understand the things. Now, I won't discuss, this is the biotechnology related. So after this, I am straightforward going to student purpose utility, though there are so many things we may discuss some other time. For students, what are the opportunities available? So two broad opportunity available. Those who are doing graduation, they can do LLB, as I did. What they can get? If you do not do LLB, you have done simply your graduation, you can go for patent or trademark agent. This patent and trademark agent, if you read section 126 of Patent Act, it gives power to recruit these people. If you become patent or trademark agent, you can earn a lot because it's a very good job, and you can utilize your scientific knowledge also. So what are the requirements? You should be Indian citizen. You have completed age of 21. You have obtained degree in science, engineering, or technology. You have to pass an exam. There is an exam conducted by Intellectual Property Board. You have to pass that, or you have 10 years as an examiner. And after that, you have to pay fee as prescribed. So if you fulfill these small requirements, you can become patent agent. And what you can do, you can practice, you can file, you can prosecute the entire patent or trademark process. You can become attorney, you can become barrister, you can deal patent, trademark, design support role as a patent record team leader, manager. You can become IP analyst, strategist. You can do academic job, teaching, training, and awareness. You can do IP research. So these are the things which comes through this, where you do not need to do LLB. If you do LLB, you can become specialized in IPR. And there are so many options open. You can go for teaching, you can go for research, you can do legal practice, you can become legal officer in several organizations. If you know the IP laws and legal, you can go for judiciary examination, you can go for civil service. So your arena becomes diverse. You can go in so many areas. These are the opportunities associated with IPs. So with this, I would like to thank Miranda House and chemistry department and all the teachers who considered me as a person to speak on this platform.